So when you get your kitchen waste, make sure you break down the small, larger pieces into smaller pieces. Make sure you don't have too large pieces. So this is the green matter. This is not waste. This is food we ate. This is a yummy mango peel that I have eaten. So this is everything that we have. It's edible. So you can never call this garbage, because this is something that we have eaten, and this can be turned into something so magical like compost, right? Compost is magic. It converts something like this into such an amazing, soil amendment. So this is the first part, that you have the, greens, the the nitrogen part. The second one is, so what can you put, what can't you put in this will be, it is all your vegetable peels, fruit peels, your coffee grounds. If you're South Indian and you're having a lot of coffee, then chai, your tea leaves. You can add flowers from your, puja, or somebody gives you a bouquet of flowers, chop them up into small pieces and put it into your compost. So anything that is edible, but what is usually kept away from an aerobic composting is meat waste and dairy. There's a cheese, a big chunk of cheese or a paneer that's got spoiled. Try not to put, because there are pathogen problems, and also the smell can invite unwanted creatures like a rat, or a mouse or something like that. So you don't want that to come and disturb your composting. So the second part is the dry leaves. This is amazing, resource. Dry leaves are everywhere available. Trees shed dry leaves many times a year. Just collect them for over the year, so that it helps you in composting. That also, this dry leaves help you to balance the moisture in the compost, because moisture is extremely important for the microorganisms to build into your compost. If it is just dry, it will not accelerate. The compost will not break down fast. So you need dry leaves. So as long as you can crush them, they break down faster. So that's the second. If you don't have access to dry leaves, there is cocoa peat, then there is sawdust. People can use sawdust from the mill. This is from the timber mill. Never use sawdust that a carpenter takes, because that's a treated wood. You don't want that into your compost. And if you don't get anything, though, I would put cardboard into recycling, because it's very precious. We cut down trees. With the pulp, we make paper and cardboard. So it's best is to go back for recycling. But if you don't have, or you want to line the bin, you can always put a bit of cardboard. Yeah, cardboard is again a brown material. So these are the examples of brown material. And then the bucket itself. So what can you use? So take any bucket in your home. Maybe it's a paint bucket. Make sure you drill small holes on the top, so that you maintain the aeration, and make sure there's a proper lid on it. Many people say we have problems with maggots that enter. So if you have issues with maggots, make sure that you cover it with some nice netting material, so that the black soldier fly does not enter it. So this is how you need to keep the bucket, so that the soldier fly does not enter it. See, maggot is actually great for the compost, but many people get freak out. They freak out on a maggot. So this is a maggot on my hand. It's fallen out. So you can see they are harmless. I don't know.
A little higher? Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's right there. I can show you many of them if you want. So you get comfortable with them. Many people think they are creepy crawlies which can harm us. No, they don't harm you. They're doing a great job in your compost bin, because they eat up quite a lot of your food waste. So you finish the bin, you finish the greens, that is the fresh greens, that's your kitchen waste. Then the browns is the dry leaves and alternatives to that. And then the culture, like I already told you, the culture could be as simple as buttermilk, sour buttermilk. So make sure that you collect this and keep, and just add 1 to 2 tablespoons to introduce microorganisms into your compost, right? And then the fourth is, the last is the aeration. So you move the pile, or disturb the pile once in a while, just to make sure that you add the. So best is to take a tub. This is one day's kitchen waste. If you think, just add it to this. Then you add some dry leaves. So the proportion of dry leaves and fresh waste I cannot give you, because you will, as you start composting, you will know. So just give them a nice mix, or just do this. Just do this and add the accelerator. Just a little bit. So you mix it well. So why do you have to mix the dry leaves along with your wet waste? Because when wet is soggy and if they clump together, the water releases and they become compacted. They would have completely, and air won't pass and it starts to smell. Many people complain of bad smell when they compost. That happens only when your wet waste is it starts to clump. So best is to put the dry leaves in between and mix it up so that there is no chance for it. So it keeps the pile breathing always, and the dry leaves absorb the excess moisture.